everyone. Welcome to another episode of the SOAR COVID and Cancer online video series. My name is Lauren. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of SOAR.
And I'm Nina, the CFO of SOAR. The COVID and Cancer online video series was created to talk about the issues surrounding COVID-19 and how it is changing the cancer space through conversations with cancer survivors, oncology nurses, and others working in cancer fields. We encourage everyone watching to donate to help us combat the economic effects of COVID-19 in the link below. All donations received up until August 15 will go directly to the Greater Houston COVID-19 Recovery Fund to aid those in need of food assistance, affordable childcare, and basic financial hardship caused by COVID-19.
So today we're so excited to be interviewing Taima and her mom, April. So hi, Taima and April. Thank you so much again for joining us today. Could you just briefly introduce yourselves and your cancer experience?
All right, so I'm Taima. I'm 17 years old. I'll be going to Wheaton College this fall, where I'll be studying Premed. When I was 11, I was diagnosed with childhood spitzoid malignant melanoma, stage 3B, and treated for it with surgery. And this is my mom, April.
Hi, I'm April. I'm a medical assistant, and I first noticed when Taima was 2, she had a suspicious looking mole on her shoulder that never changed color, shape, or size, so the doctors never wanted to do anything about it until later on in the years.
So how long have you been cancer-free?
This year, actually, the 24th will be 6 years.
Oh,
Wow, that's so great.
I've just how has been your experience with the whole quarantining, COVID-19? Has that affected any medical checkups, if you have any, or just life in general?
Yes, I went down to Dartmouth at the beginning of March because I had another spot and I haven't been able to go down for a second checkup due to all the COVID restrictions and everything like that. And then finding a time to do an online call is kind of difficult as well. So it's definitely impacted that and medical appointments in general.
Mm-hmm. What have you been doing in your free time?
I actually just got an ankle surgery, so I haven't been doing too much.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm sorry about your ankle. I hope you're recovering well and I hope everything's okay. Are there any support groups that you're in for your specific type of cancer that you had, or just for cancer survivors in general?
Around here, there's not too many, so it's kind of hard for me, but down on campus, they actually have a cancer society group that I'm hoping to join. That's about it for now, because up here, there's not much.
Oh, okay. That's so good to hear that on campus that there is that support group. Have you heard anything about what they're going to do about the meetings, if it's still online or if it's in person, or how has COVID kind of affected that, if you know?
We are going down to campus this fall, so they're hoping to do in-person meetings. They'd just be more spread out and probably outside,
Okay.
and maybe less often, but they're definitely planning on doing them in person.
So you're going back on campus in the fall?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's exciting.
That's exciting.
Is there anything in particular you plan to use the money for?
Yes, I've actually used the scholarship to buy myself a computer setup, or it's a tablet computer setup, so I can do digital note-taking.
Yeah, no, those are very handy in college for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you were able to use that money towards something that would help you in college. I guess you kind of talked about this, but if you want to expand on it a little more, what are your college plans, and what are they doing about COVID?
So I want to major in biology and pre-med. So I already figured out my classes with bio and chem this year. A lot of the labs will be in person, but the classes themselves will be online. And I'll also be being part of the track team, hopefully, if my ankle heals in time. And they're just going to be doing small group practices for that. Classes are going to be a lot more, I guess, based off of COVID restrictions. So if certain students can't make it, they'll make it all online, things like that. So.
Also, you said you're on the pre-med track. What made you decide to want to do that?
Since my cancer experience, I've wanted to do surgical oncology. I've been very interested in that, and I've been studying it since I was about 12. And so Premed is the first step to doing that. So I decided I was going to find somewhere that has the Premed track, and that's what I'm doing now.
That's very exciting, very interesting.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I'm glad like you get to have your labs in person and that you kind of know what's happening with your schools. I know like a lot of colleges are still being really iffy about like the whole lab situation. A lot of my friends who are pre-med are like, I don't know what's up.
I actually took chem lab last term online. That was an interesting experience.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Just watch the professor do the lab.
I'm assuming you had to like finish the rest of your like school like online as well, like for this past semester.
Yeah.
How was like that for you, like adjusting to that?
It wasn't that bad because at high school we did a lot of online stuff through like Google Classroom. So it wasn't too bad. It was just a lot less work. So it was hard finding things to do in between that time, and then graduation was also a pain in the butt.
Was it virtual?
No, we did it in person, but we were all separated 6 feet apart, and it was done mostly like the ceremony itself was done online. We just got our diplomas in person.
Okay. Oh, that's still really exciting. Yeah, I'm glad you like got to have like that graduation kind of sense of yeah. I mean, it's like I'm also like really glad you're like going down to campus and that like you get to like experience it. Even though it'll be completely normal, I still think it's pretty exciting. Yeah.
How big is the college you're going to?
About 1,800 kids. It's very small.
Oh, I go to a very like Caltech, like undergrad. It's probably like 1,200.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very small.
Wow. I go to a public school. I cannot relate to this. One of our CS classes has the capacity is like 2,000 people, I think. So
wow.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's insanity, honestly, and like it's just like that's what was concerning at my school about like the whole COVID situation. Like even though like not everyone shows up to class, it's still like just imagine everyone stuffed in that lecture hall and it's just like ugh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we have a few questions for you, April. How has your relationship with your daughter changed through her cancer experience?
I don't really know. She was 11, so I know it was difficult at first when she got first diagnosed and going down, but I don't know. I don't really think there's been much of a change. I think we've just been the same. I mean, maybe a little closer now than we have been, but I don't really know. I think that's a difficult question to think about that. But I don't think it's changed too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we go to appointments together, talk to the doctors together. We do quite a bit together. Look up things if we want to know what they are.
So I guess like because it was a while ago, do you remember how the rest of your family kind of like took in the whole situation? How did you guys kind of like handle that and things like that?
God, I remember the day I get the phone call you don't want to get. Trying to keep your composure while you're talking to the doctors is really difficult. But I remember as soon as I got off of there, my mom and my dad lived right around the corner, and I literally ran from my house to there, and I just cried. Taima's dad, he had just lost his mom to cancer. I think it was difficult for him, and he doesn't show much emotion, but I do know it was really difficult for him. And her sister was only 8, 7, so for her, she didn't really think much of it. So, but everybody's been very supportive, and we had a lot of friends and family that were supportive.
That's great. Yeah, you always definitely want that support. And I guess for like a question about now and the whole COVID thing, like how has that been for you? Like, were y'all just like doing more things at home or doing some outdoor activities? How have y'all been staying together as a family?
Well, see, I've worked through the whole COVID thing, being a medical assistant. I didn't have any time off or furloughed. So any time that I get to spend with the kids, I do. We've gone to camp. swimming and stuff up there. I've had cookouts with my family, my sister and my parents. And she's done some fishing and swimming.
Yeah, my dad works full-time as well. He hasn't had time off either, so I haven't really done much with them through COVID, but I spend more time with my siblings, I can tell you that.
How many siblings do you have?
I have my one biological sister, and then I have 4 step-siblings.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a big family.
Oh, right.
Jaden, and then...
Oh, that's right. I forgot about my stepson. He just graduated with her, so.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. What college is he going to?
Well, I don't think he really knows right now what he wants to do. He had a path, but that's changed, so I think he wants to take a year break, so I'm not really sure what he wants to do.
Honestly, yeah. That's like something that like I know like a couple of my friends did that as well. And then after like they kind of like figured it out, like it was just like really refreshing to see them like super happy and like super passionate about something that they found that they really like to do. Nina, you're an only child, right?
I have a stepbrother.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I mean, I've just been I'm an only child, so I've just been like at home, just like by myself. And so like, I mean, hearing that you have like so many siblings, it must be entertaining all the time. I wouldn't know though. I feel like when I'm at home, just like by myself, I'm just like kind of here. So I was like, oh, hearing that you have like all these siblings, it must be really nice. It must be fun.
I think that's it for our questions. Yeah.
Do you guys have any like anything else you want to share? Like any questions for us or anything? We'd be really open to.
What kind of stuff is the SOAR Foundation? What have you guys been doing during COVID?
Yeah, so we've been actually working on the webinar a lot. We've interviewed founder of a cancer support organization. It's a nonprofit organization, and it matches cancer survivors with current cancer patients and provides mentorship and it matches it with people who had like their specific type of cancer. So it's all very personalized, and the founder said they are the largest group that does so. So it was really interesting to interview him.
Yeah, I think like our main thing definitely has been this webinar. The other person I interviewed was also like our scholarship recipient. So like I was super excited to hear what you had to say tonight as well. I think it's like really inspiring to hear about how you guys are kind of like he also wanted to go into like the medical field as well because of what he went through. And I mean, I just think that's really inspiring and really, really cool. So it was really nice to hear like your story and everything. But yeah.
Besides that, we also have been working on a newsletter that we actually just sent out. That just came out this week.
This question was just like randomly on my mind. Do you know when you're like heading to campus, like in the fall, or like do you know when school's starting?
We move in the 22nd and 23rd. Classes start the 24th.
This is August?
Yes.
Because I start late September, so.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
We're on the quarter system.
Mm.
Very weird.
Are you going back, Nina?
No.
I'm not going back either. Yeah.
But it's been really fun.
Yes, it has been.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. And like thank you so much for speaking to us tonight, and then just kind of sharing your story, your experiences, and then kind of how COVID has been affecting like you and your family.
To all those watching, we would any donations up until August 15th will go directly to the Greater Houston COVID-19 Recovery Fund.
Thank you again, Taima, and thank you, April, for joining us. And yeah, we hope you guys enjoy this episode of our webinar.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.